DJ Earworm, thanks for coming by today.
Thanks for having me.
You've worked with some of the greatest artists. I mean, from Lady Gaga to One Direction, Annie Lennox, Carrie Underwood, Maroon 5, Fitz and the Tantrums. I mean, Backstreet Boy. I mean, I could go on and on. New Kids on the Block. Tell us a little bit about what you plan on doing as it relates to this year. Are you going to focus on EDM, or do you think the EDM is kind of fallen out of vogue, or do you think EDM is still very relevant?
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I did it again. Come on, everybody, get on now. Get your freak on. One more time. Coming up, so you better get this party started. All right.
Go.
I would say EDM hasn't been that relevant since 14 or 15. I was thinking that with the pandemic over, with a hopeful economic resurgence, that we might collectively be back in the mood to party. You know, I feel like even before the country got really divided recently, that there was a musical sort of sadness that took over in around 14, 15. The music slowed down. Even the electronic music slowed down. We started getting the hip hop that was, I mean, you call it the mumble rap, the sort of very sad SoundCloud rappers. So all of music kind of slowed down, and I think it corresponded with people's mood getting a little bit in dark places. And I'm hoping that our collective mood can improve. I would hope that the end of the pandemic helps, that maybe some of our political divisions can heal, and that we might be back into the mood to party. If that happens, I see a resurgence of party music, you know, of 128 BPM, let's go, or maybe not exactly that, but, you know, a little bit more of the hyped up vibe rather than this really mellow thing that we've been experiencing.
As you look back at the era of music, what is your favorite era? What do you consider the golden era? I know that during COVID it was a dark ages. We're expecting a renaissance,
right.
But tell us what years you thought really sonically were some of the more special years in music.
Oh, you know, I mean, I love the late aughts and the early 10s. I mean, I love the EDM era. It was so uncomplicated. I can't say that it was super innovative at the time, because, you know, when it happened, it was like, well, I've heard this before, but it was so energetic, so simple, and it made you feel good.
It did, yeah.
And I definitely missed that era, and I hope we get some of that back.
And I think, you know, everything comes back around, from fashion to art to music. It all goes in like almost a cyclical nature.
True.
And improves upon itself.
True.
And so, you know, I think what you said is real powerful. Out of this COVID pandemic, the artists are going to come out, and the artists are going to be what really unify us. Just like the music,
yeah.
You take one genre and another and you put it together, or you take 2019 and 2021 and you put it together, and you get such interesting perspective. And I think you bring that to the table, DJ Earworm.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I fully expect a real strong change in music coming up. I mean, it's been a while since the last shift, which I would peg at 2015 or so, and so it's about time for another interesting shift. I can't tell you which way, but it's got to be more energetic.
Right. It's gotta uplift us and take us. And that's what, you know, there's a saying that art disturbs the normal, but it comforts the disturbed. And it's kind of a neat saying, because art is really an interesting expression. And what you do, I don't care what anybody says, I consider art at its very finest, because you're taking different mediums and you're blending these mediums together. Do you consider what you do art?
Oh yeah. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it might be collage art, but it's art. I mean, I probably make, I mean, the process of making art is the process of making decisions. You know, it's like if I take this song and I present it to you, well, I haven't really made any decisions, but the minute I start editing it and changing it into something else, the more decisions I'm making, the more of an artistic effort it is, and the more it is art in itself. So, yeah, I fully consider it to be art and as legitimate as anything, as long as you are making enough decisions.
Right. Your United State of Pop series that I believe started in 2007, it comes out annually, and I look forward to it every year, and it comes out, I think, in December, right? Usually January of the next year.
Always December.
Yeah,
I think every time.
Let me ask you, it seems so layered and so complex. How many hours does this take you? Or should we look at it in days?
Oh, or months, yeah. It takes about a month.
It takes a month.
Probably about, of intense work. You know, sometimes I'm a little bit, I start early and I just kind of play around in September, October, and then once November comes in, I get a lot more serious. But I would say it takes about a month of you know, intense focus to do both the music and the video.
And will you almost get like what writers describe as writer's block, where you have to peel away and go, okay, I need to come back to the board here, or is it something that flows kind of organically off your mind?
It flows, and then once it stops flowing, I quit and do something else, and then come back to it. But you know, usually I'll have several sessions throughout the day, and then once, you know, I mean, if the time pressure is great, then I'm just work through it. If the time pressure isn't great, I'll just work until I've reached a stopping point. Yeah.
Right. And you know, the one thing I do appreciate about you, and I know we all love to make money, and money's not a dirty word, as they say, but you never came into the game looking for a golden parachute or a big payment. You came in because you really enjoy this medium. Yeah,
well, I mean, when I first started posting the mashups, I wasn't worried about getting paid. I was worried about getting sued. I mean, I was like, yeah, it turned from, I like to say, I was worried about the cease and desist, and then it turned into come and assist. Very soon thereafter, I got gig offers, and so I said, oh, I better get a laptop and learn how to DJ. I mean, this was in 03 or 04, and yeah.
And some of those gig offers are quite extraordinary, and we won't go into a lot of the private gigs, but one that intrigued me that you did was when you performed on Necker Island. Yeah. Sir Richard Branson's private island. Yes. It's on my bucket list to go there.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that place. How cool is it?
Oh, that was amazing. It was a 3-day destination wedding for a founder of one of the world's biggest companies.
Jeff Bezos?
No. But it was on that sort of vibe.
You got to tell me off camera.
And yeah, on the last day, we were on Necker Island in the British Virgin Islands. The party went all night. We ended up the wedding itself wound down, and Sam, I want to say, Richard Branson's son, and said, "Hey, can you come up to the house for an after party?" And so I was like, "Yeah." So yeah, me and my manager and 20 or 30 guests went up to his sort of tree house. This has since burnt down in a fire, or maybe it blew away in a hurricane. Anyway, it's been destroyed since.
I think it was a lightning strike, but yeah.
But yeah, I was just DJing there and dancing, and people were dancing, and we were up till 4 a.m. and someone made some special chocolate chip cookies, and we were all sort of getting off on that. And then, everyone slept on hammocks and beds. There were like 20 or 30 hammocks and beds around, and we all just crashed at the end of it. And then in the morning, someone's like, nudges me, "Oh, your boat's here." Like, what? Okay. It was a great experience.
Time to leave Fantasy Island.
Yeah. Hi, I'm DJ Earworm, and you're watching Cinemills TV. Make sure to press that subscribe button.